Hello boys and girls, it is April the 4th now. Hello. Yeah, it was been a weird old funny old year, hasn't it? It's been really warm for a lot of the time. I think it got a lot of people into a false sense of security, and now this is what we've got, frozen solid. So yes, not great weather. I know a lot of people will have gone ploughed ahead with all the warm weather that we've had and put a lot outside. I'll say, having seen it all before, I'm kind of cautious. I'm still not putting anything out. I'm still not putting any tomatoes or anything like that in the greenhouses even, because at night time it's going to be getting that cold. It's certainly not going to do them any favours at all. At best they'll wilt and, you know, stunt their growth, and at the very worst they'll drop deed. So yeah, that's what's happening at this time of year. The plot, as you can see, is still fairly bare soil. Early April, it's about right. Lots of signs of things springing into life though, especially the weeds at this time of year, so you've got to keep on top of me hoeing. Well, that's the plan anyway. Yeah, the rhubarb is coming along quite nicely. It's way behind. I've been keeping abreast of a lot of other people's sites and that. This is only in its second year now. I grew it from seed last year, so it seems to be a bit of a thing. This side of the plot is, this side of the bed rather, is doing really well. And then it's sort of petered out over to this end. One of them's not come through at all, and one of them's bright yellow, so I'm thinking that manure wasn't exactly well rotted. As you can see, it's still in lumps, so might have been a bit too fresh. As you can see, it's gone bright yellow, so that could just be a sign of nutrient burn. I've got this other big bed here. I'm thinking, with this big one, let's try a bit of the old no dig. And I know that's a swear word to a lot of people. It's been a swear word up till now for me. I don't know why that is. I think a lot of people have spent a lot of time digging the plots over, and they get a little bit militant about somebody that says, go no dig, go no dig. Look at Charles Dowding, and it's like, no, I've dug my plot and you're darn well going to dig your plot as well. I say, hopefully, I don't know, get that plastic off, cover it in cardboard, dump a load of compost on top. It's got to be worth a go, hasn't it? At the very least, it's not going to work, and I'm going to have to dig it over, which I'm going to have to do anyway, so it's a no-brainer, which is good because I have a no-brainer. I have decided as well what I'm going to do with this, the second plot. I've sent all my letters off and everything like that now, so it is mine. I've got it. It's free up until, is it 2020, something like that? So, no, not 20, what's next year? I'll probably have to pay for it next year if I decide to keep it next year. So that gives me a full year to have a play with it. I think I had a really good suggestion. One of the comments was, sorry, I went quiet there. I think, oh dear, right, where was I? That's it. I'm going to keep it trimmed, and then I'm going to dump a load of sunflowers in here, and I've got some Atlantic Giant pumpkin seeds. I don't know if you've heard of the Dill's Atlantic Giant, but apparently it's one of the biggest varieties you can grow in the right conditions, up to 400 kilos, and then you can hollow it out and use it as a boat. That's not a joke. There is actually races that, you know, give it a Google. People do hollow out pumpkins and have a little boat race with them in certain parts of the world. Crazy. So I shan't be doing that, I don't think. But yeah, I thought if I put pumpkins in, I mean, these Dill's Atlantic absolutely smother the earth. They grow huge. So if I put a couple of those in, they'll, you know, keep on top of it, keep all the weeds down and everything like that. And then I can have another look next year. See, the sunflowers I can put in as well. Whack, they'll fly up. You know, and they're also quite good at rejuvenating the earth as well, apparently. That's what I've heard. So yeah, that's it for the second plot. So one of the first jobs that I want to get on with today, sorry you can hardly see me here, I'm tucked down in a corner, is sowing my gutter peas. Now the reason that I want to start my peas off in gutters, there's a couple really. It means that I can keep them in the greenhouse while they're shooting up to keep them protected. It means that the mice, because they love peas, will not be digging them up, same as like all your rodents really, rats, squirrels, the old shebang, they'll have them. When the little shoots come up as well, there's a good chance of pigeons and other birds might have a peck away at them. So it's just a really good way to keep them protected and give them a really good start. The idea is that you lay your compost out in a length of guttering. These are just open-ended, I've not had to cap them or anything like that. But I just put my compost out into the guttering, and then when it is time to sow, you just slide the plants out into a trench, and then they're ready really. It's like, you know, not too much root disturbance, and they can just get away. So the ones I'm going to sow is this one here. It's the Johnson's Kelvedon Wonder. Kelvedon Wonder, popular heavy cropping and compact early long sowing variety. It says on there, sow from March to July. So it's early April now, so that's right smack bang in the middle of there. How many have we got in this packet here? Tells me up there 350 seeds in there. I'm going to be fairly precise with it, but not like ridiculously so. And these just look like a dried pea that you might know. I mean, you can actually buy dried peas and grow them, you know, the bigger peas and that sort of thing. So that's all they are. It is just literally a pea dried, not cooked obviously. And just cover them over. They'll sit in the greenhouse now for a couple of weeks now until they look nice and strong, inch or two high, and then we can get them outside. Gutter peas. Peas in gutters. Right, now I mentioned before about the frosts, obviously still very much of a threat here up until about the first week of May. So I've still got about 4 weeks now to worry about the frosts and to worry about any of my plants getting too cold. Now, a lot of people will choose to take a risk and use fleece and other protection and everything like that. I find that if you do that, then, you know, you're just creating a lot of work for yourself. It's fine if it's in your back garden or if you've got a lot of time to do that. However, for me, I mean, coming down here, you check the weather forecast, anything below about 3 degrees Celsius is at risk of a ground frost. So, you know, you shouldn't be looking for minus numbers on the weather forecast. It's about 3 degrees that you want to be getting worried about. So for me, I'm just going to wait. I mean, if I put potatoes in, they're probably going to take maybe 2-3 weeks to actually show up if I bury them deep. And then, you know, you can earth them up and everything to protect them, but I'm still going to leave it a week or so. What I am going to plant is, I've got my little pink fir potatoes. I'm going to put these in sacks, keep them in the greenhouse for now. That's the offending article right there. You can see we've got a nice little chit coming out the top there. There's going to be 3 of those going into this one sack. There's a couple of little micro chits coming out the side as well. I've been chitting them in the shed, so it's quite cool in here. So yeah, the chits have been growing quite slowly on me main crop potatoes as well. As you can see, they've been in there a good long while. They still feel nice and firm, but you know, in a cool light environment like this, they don't throw out those massive long spindly chits that are quite weak and can affect your plant quite badly. So anyway, what's the word when you don't stick to the subject? I do that. I digress. Boom. Right, potato sack here. This is the one. This has been used before, so it's looking a bit wrinkly, but certainly up for the job. Multi-purpose compost. So now we see the pink fir potatoes in their natural environment, sitting in dirt. So they are, I'd say, the edge of the bag. I'm probably about 4 inches or 100 mil off the bottom there. I've put 3 potatoes in. Then what I'm going to do is probably just fill them in so that the compost is about the same again, 4 inches over the top. And then what will happen as they start to grow and they show their heads, I'll cover them over again, until eventually the compost is right up to the top of the bag. And that means that your potatoes are nice and deep inside, lots of roots, lots of area for them to produce new little potatoes. So there we go, 3 pink fir potatoes in the old bag there. I'm going to give that a good water and keep it in the greenhouse so that keeps them out of any danger of frost. As they grow, like I say, I'm going to earth up until that sack's completely full. I've just rolled the edges over for now. And hopefully in about 10 to 12 weeks we can harvest those and get some lovely spuds. These are the rest of my potatoes here, still happily chitting away. As you can see, they're kind of scabby. It's probably something to do with the weather conditions last year, but they are happily growing away, little chits. I'm not concerned about getting large chits on there. I'm more concerned about keeping these potatoes in the best condition possible, just breaking them out of dormancy and making sure that they're not wasting all of their energy growing white spindly shoots that stretch on forever and have the chance of snapping off and rotting. So these for me are perfect. They're nice and firm, nice little compact chits, so we know that these potatoes are awake, and then they'll be ready for when I plant those out, for me around mid-April. Now, one of the plants from back home that has outgrown its spot on the windowsill is this one. Who recognises that? The label's a giveaway. Globe artichokes. Now, the globe artichoke, I personally think they're a beautiful plant. They do stay around pretty much the entire year, and when they flower you get these massive purple flower heads that are absolutely loved by the bees, and they are edible as well. You can pull the get the flower before it opens, and you can eat them. So there's another 4 here that I grew purely because I had the seeds at home. Don't know if you can see their older brothers and sisters in the background, but there's 2 just out there. And here's a closer look at them at the minute. Masses and masses of these sort of silvery green leaves that they feel ever so tough. Now these things are really hardy, as you know. We've had a lot of frost this week and this year. These things are just shrug it off. I have known them to suffer in the frost, but that's only when it got down to about -4 or -5. So yeah, hopefully these will be throwing up these massive flower shoots with these big pom-pom flowers on. I'm going to eat 1 or 2 this year, but I do absolutely love seeing them flowering. Outdoors, the recent weather doesn't seem to have phased the garlic at all. It's all still growing away really well. As you can see, there's the original stuff that's been in about a month. These ones have been in probably about 2 weeks now. There is some yellowing to the leaves, which is kind of normal. They have all been fed, but you can imagine that any plant at this time of year is going to take a bit of a beating. Plus the outer leaves, each leaf represents a layer on the garlic. You know, you get the papery shell, so each leaf is one of those layers. So as you can imagine, the outer ones have to die off anyway to create the papery husk as the plant grows. So I'm not too concerned about that. I usually keep an eye on the inner leaves, and they all seem to be green and growing away really well. And a few narcissi. Let's have a little look at you. Oh, hello Mr. Flower. Oh, you're beautiful. Why are you hiding your head? Look at you. There's multiple layers of petals. And obviously next to the more conventional daffodil type. Beautiful they are. Look at that. Any of you guys growing strawberries might notice that a lot of them have got carried away with the recent warm weather and gone to flower. Now, you see how the centre of that has gone black? Sorry guys, but unfortunately that means that they've been frosted and there won't be any fruit coming from that one. Don't worry though, still plenty of time. As you can see, all the flowers on there have gone black in the centres. But, excuse the weeds, plenty more flower buds coming through. And here we have the natural enemy to most gardeners and brassica growers. You can see these 2 fat specimens now strutting around, filling their faces with anything they can find. It's about time. I've got to get my onions out really. They've been sat in the greenhouse now. I planted sets and they've all sprouted up and gone crazy. So I've earmarked this bed here for my onions. It's going to be a combination of white and red onions. First thing I'm going to do though, the bag of compost that I got given the other day, I'm going to wang that all over the bed just to give them you know, a little bit of something. The compost will help retain moisture and just put a bit of goodness back into the soil as well, because these beds have been, you know, a little bit neglected for the last couple of years if I'm honest. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Boom. So these are the couple of trays of onions now. 1, 2, another tray of red onions in there as well. I'm going to see how far these ones go while I'm planting them out. As you can see now, they were just sets put into these little modules. They've really fired away beautifully. When planting these onions out, what I don't want to do is go too deep with them. I want to leave it so that the tip of the onion is still poking out of the compost, just to give them the best possible start. So when I plant them, I'm going to plant them about as deep as they are now, and then hopefully everything will be all good. As the wind catches my tripod and tries to knock it over. What's going on? Don't know. Wind. Oh, right, I'm going to whack them in anyway. I'm going to put them in rows. I'll probably get 4 rows wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then space them about 6 inch apart, something like that. I'll let you have a look. The battery's just gone to red. That's worrying. What I've got to try and keep the rows as level as possible, I've got a little stick and I've got a big stick. Now, not without trying to blind you with science or anything, but my little stick, that's going to put me first row in, and then my big stick's going to put my second row in. So as long as I measure each hole that I dig them in with my big stick or my little stick, can't go wrong. Get yourself a little stick and a big stick. Now, don't just sort of wrench them out of the pots, because as it is, that thing's not going to want to come out, and you've got a good chance of ripping your roots. Squeeze the pot, squeezy, squeezy, squeeze, and then it comes out dead easy. Alright, squeezy. And then my measurements: 1 trowel, 1 little stick, dig a hole, job's a fish. 1 big stick, squeezy squeeze, oh, that's the first row in it anyway. Mother Nature has just managed to step in to offer a helping hand and water them all in for me, but there we go. As you can see, using the old sticky stick method, they've gone in fairly straight actually. And now I'm going to retreat out of the rain. Oh, just a quick word as well before I go. Obviously I've passed the 2,000 subscriber landmark now, so obviously I'm far too rich and famous to carry on doing these videos. Yeah, I only ever got into the allotment game really for the women and the luxury yachts. So now I've reached this massive landmark as well. Yeah, basically I can retire to a life of luxury. So yeah, see you all later. It's been no. Yeah, we wish. Yeah, no, honestly, thank you very much. Thank you very much to everybody that has subscribed and who does obviously watch and comment on these videos. I do appreciate it. I really do. It gives me a lot of motivation to carry on. So yeah, cheers for that. Try not to poke myself in the eye. So many dangers on the allotment. So from me and from my plot in sunny Nottingham on this rainy, horrible, miserable day, adios. See you later.